Hey Grace family, and welcome back to our midweek check-in. So last Sunday we had our final full sermon on the book of Philippians as we've been looking at this letter over the last year and a half and discovering a life of joy and how being centered on Christ really leads to that and unleashes that in daily living. And so one thing we did as we kind of concluded the book of Philippians was we had a sermon titled Remembering Who We Are. And so we just looked at some of our identity in Christ that's kind of highlighted in those last few verses and remembered that we are saints in God's family, saved by God's grace. And so hopefully you were encouraged by that. And what I'd love to do, just meeting you in the middle of your week, is read another verse that gives us another part of our identity in Christ and just to encourage you in that no matter where you find yourself this week. So this is John chapter 15, and it's verse 15. It's Jesus and his disciples have gathered. He's sharing with them. They're really coming to their final days together before Jesus lays down his life. And here's what he says in John 15:15. No longer do I call you servants, for the servant does not know what his master is doing, but I have called you friends. For all that I have heard from my Father, I have made known to you. And I just want to take a moment in the middle of your week and encourage you with that truth, that the God of the universe, the great I am, the Alpha and Omega, the one who spoke and galaxies were formed, calls you friend. It's through the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus that we are friends of God. And so no matter what you're working through this week, if life has been great, and every day it's just one of those seasons where things seem to be going great, I want to encourage you with the truth that Jesus is the better version of all that. That the God of the universe calls you friend, and that's where our real treasure lies. Or maybe you're on the other side of it and this week is just full of terrible things, or you feel the burden or the weight of life. I want to encourage you with that same truth, that even in the midst of that, the God of the universe calls you friend. You can cling to him. You can put your hope in him. He will walk you through. He will be with you in every situation and circumstance. And to just be reminded about that incredibly simple and yet life-changing and powerful verse that Jesus calls you friend. So church, looking ahead to this next Sunday, we are going to do a series recap on the book of Philippians as a whole. So it's going to be a little different. We'll highlight some different truths and things throughout the letter. We're going to be praying through that and really just asking God to take his word from the letter of Philippians and allowing it to take root in our hearts and lives so that we can continue discovering that life of joy. Between now and then, just remind yourself, even dozens of times every day, that Jesus calls you friend, and find joy in that. And church, we'll look forward to seeing you back here Sunday morning at 9 a.m.